Hi everyone, this is AmSwim40 from AngryBirdsNest.com. In this lesson for the Angry Birds classroom, I'm going to show you some of the unique strategies for Angry Birds space. I'm going to look at the Lazer Bird and the Ice Bird. They don't appear in any other apps yet. And I'm also going to show you some of the very different shooting styles that you can use in Angry Birds space. So very quickly, I'm going to look at the Lazer Bird. I'm going to look at Pig Bang level 23. This is the Lazer Bird here, and what I really want to show you is that the Lazer Bird starts off like any other bird. With this gravitational field, it's going to want to go around in a nice circular parabolic trajectory. But when I trigger its ability, I'm going to tap here on the TNT. It's going to travel in a perfectly straight line, not subject to gravity, and try to hit the TNT. So you see that it's no longer affected by gravity, but if I were to send the bird around this way, as soon as I hit something, that was not a good example of that, I hit too little. Once I hit something, the bird is subject to normal gravity. So this can be very effective, especially when you have more than one gravitational field, is if you get a good angle, you can use the Lazer Bird to basically just forget about gravity for the time being and just take a direct path to where you want to go. The other bird we're going to look at is the Ice Bird. It first appears in cold cuts, but this level in Utopia, this is level 4-3, shows a lot more of what I want to display. First thing, the Ice Bird is very effective against stone because it turns something that's almost impossible to destroy. You need a lot of power to destroy stone blocks into something very brittle, ice. So it will freeze anything that it touches. It's particularly effective against stone. And you'll see with these popcorn kernels here, these are something that was introduced in Utopia, that the the Ice Bird will cause the popcorn kernels to actually expand into popcorn. And now I can use any bird I want to destroy this ice. Obviously, Big Brother's not the best choice to destroy ice, but it is effective. The other thing that the Ice Bird can do is blow up TNT without actually touching it. So I'm going to aim for that TNT over on that eastern planet. And you see, I never actually touched the TNT, but since it was within the blast radius of the Ice Bird, I still managed to detonate the TNT and cause a massive explosion. Another level where we see this is level 9, also in Utopia. First I'm just going to clear this structure out of the way. And with the Ice Bird, I'm going to try to get as close as I can to that TNT, which frankly is not going to be that close. But as long as it's within the blast radius, I should be in good shape. Now, if you want to go through and try to manage a shot like this, it's going to be very difficult. So this is a nice shot in Angry Birds space. I call it a vertical shot, or a vertical pull, where I'm going to fire this bird basically straight up. But since the center of the gravitational field is over here, and not directly under me, the bird is still going to travel in a parabolic shape, and it's actually going to have a lot of speed as it gets near the planet. So let's give it a try. Well, I did not quite reach the TNT. But luckily, I can repeat the shot with the blue bird, fired a little more vertically. And now I can detonate the TNT like I wanted to. So this vertical pull, it's not possible in any of the other Angry Birds apps, because there's only one center of gravity. For all intents and purposes, it pulls straight down. And really, if you tried to pull a bird straight down in one of the other apps, either the bird would just very softly limp back down to the ground, or it would just not fire. It would just return to the swing shot, and it would be like nothing ever happened. So this is a very unique shot to Angry Birds space. Something else that's really fun in Angry Birds Space. If we go to level 27 of Danger Zone, this is hands down one of the most difficult levels ever created by Rovio to get 3 stars. I hope they're very proud of this level because it is frustratingly difficult. My first bird is a red bird, and I really want to get through this gap here to trigger the TNT, and it causes a chain reaction and eventually blasts this train sky high. So if I were to try to do this with the red bird and fire it at full strength, you see how flat this trajectory is going to be. It's going to be very difficult to reach that TNT, to make it through this gap. So instead, it's better to fire a little softer, fire it towards the edge of the gravitational field. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this with my left hand. It's not the greatest decision. And now the bird is pulled by gravity a lot smoother. You know, it's a much deeper arc, and it really makes that gap a lot bigger. So this is called a partial pull technique. Not only is it useful when trying to make it into small areas, like this specific situation, but it's very effective when you use the laser bird. Now, I'm going to fire the laser bird, and I want to hit this TNT right here. So I'm going to fire it straight up this way, and then when it's up here, I'm going to trigger for it to drop straight down. If I fired at full speed, that would be a very difficult shot to time, because you can see there's not a whole lot of space there. But if I fire the bird a little softer, it just allows me to be that much more precise and really take my time when trying to aim the laser bird. So that can be very helpful, and it can really make your life a lot easier since the laser bird is so precise. It sometimes helps to have that time, just to be able to relax and to be able to be very precise with your movements. Another fun thing to do in Angry Birds Space is to use things that are outside of gravitational fields to your own benefit. This is level 22, also in Danger Zone. The end goal is to actually detonate this TNT here, because it'll send everything up and it will pop that last pig, doing a lot of damage. Now you could go through with a couple birds and try to plow your way through all this material, but I think it's easier if you just fire the ice bird up this way and force that asteroid into the gravitational field. And now, since it has so much mass, I actually got a bit unlucky here where I did not detonate that TNT, but since it has so much mass, you can see the amount of damage it can do. Let me give it one more try just to see if I can get it. With this level, it's important to not freeze that asteroid. Well, I'm getting very unlucky here, which is kind of unfortunate. But what can happen is this asteroid falls all the way down and detonates the TNT, and it really opens up this chute right here. It's a difficult shot with the bluebird, but luckily, if you have good timing when you split the bluebird, you can easily get one of them into this chute to detonate the TNT. Not the easiest shot, but it's a good strategy. There's no way I could have done that much damage using just the ice bird. So this can be a very effective technique, especially when you have asteroids as large as this one. While there are other strategies and other unique shots for Angry Birds Space, like going around the world, these ones I think are not only the most fun, but I think they can be the most effective. They're also very unique to this app, since we have these different gravitational fields. If you need more help on Angry Birds Space, be sure to check out our walkthroughs. In the meantime, take care, everybody.